playing around. They tried to overlook me cause I wasn't in the in crowd. Well, I'm back at it, so you know it's going down. And I'm all up in their face, so they got.
Yo, 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 what is up, everybody? Welcome to Five Star Fridays. We are missing two of our amazing hosts this week. They're out doing other stuff, but as always, you got your ever loving Uncle Fish, the mountainous Mr. Fish. That's all I got. I ain't got as many as Mr. Five Star, Chat 'em Up Champion, the Clapback Kid, Tony That Ass Clapper. I ain't got as many as he does, but welcome to the show. Glad everybody is here today. And as always, we have got my buddy Ryan. How are you doing, Ryan?
I'm doing well. Tired as hell, but doing well. Yep, but doing all right.
Glad to have you here. And this week we have as our guest Laurie. Pronounce your last name for me because I'm super worried about messing it up.
Calcaterra.
Okay, see, that's what I was gonna say,
Yes.
but I'm always like, no, it can't be right. So
It's
you
so
know,
long it messes people up, but it's just phonetic. Thank
it's yeah,
God.
it's really once I really studied it because I had to write it a few times today to get it in the promo and everything. I
Yeah.
was like, you know what? That's not as hard as I was thinking it was because
Mhm.
when I just glanced at it, I'm like, that's a lot of letters. I'm not reading that. But when
You
I
know,
actually sat down and broke it down phonetically, it's not bad.
my maiden name was the same amount of letters, but it was Polish. So it was like SZA. And I was like, just that like takes everybody. They're like,
Boskowitz and
I'm not gonna try.
Wasinchek and oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Woo!
yeah. Had a lot
So
of Polish names in my past.
mhm.
Yeah, they can be a mouthful. Let me tell you. What is up, Joe Davis? Glad to have you here, man. So you got married and you ended up with just as many letters in your last name. It has been throwing my wife off ever since we got married because now her last name is just 3 letters long, and it's always been really long, either like her maiden name or her former married name. And now she's like, I get done. I feel like I haven't done it. I haven't written enough.
Should I write it? Do I do it twice?
Yeah. Lee
Mhm.
Lee, it's easy. That
Lee?
actually, that was my stepmom. Her middle name was Lee, and and so then she got married, and her name became Karen Lee, which was her
That's
friends thought that
that's
was
awesome.
hilarious.
I,
They got no end of joy out of that. Um, anyway, let's cover some of the stuff that's going on because I know Ryan's on a time limit tonight, and I don't want to keep Ryan any longer than we have to. Lori's in a hurry too because her campaign is ending tonight, and she's got her countdown directly after this.
Tonight.
So, Ryan, what's the awesome stuff that's been happening in the news that we need to know about? We need to discuss.
well, the news has been very, very pop culture. The news I have primarily is DC Studios did a press event for everybody to get everybody caught up on everything in regards to their movies, what's going to be slated, what's coming up. Most of the news resulted around Superman. The biggest news of that, what's up, Kyron, was they're right now with Superman, they're cutting the trailer right now. So expect to see a trailer
Ooh.
probably here in a couple months or at CinemaCon. CinemaCon is so it's going to be very, very, they're cutting that. Also, other big news, Robert Pattinson's the Batman, the Penguin. That stuff has been really, really successful. But Pattinson will not be the DCU's Batman. So we will have a new Batman for DC Studios. So that was also
I don't
explained
blame
as
them doing it,
well.
but I hate to lose the penguin.
Mm.
That really is what I hate. I hate to lose the penguin
Well,
in that.
not necessarily losing the Joker with Walking Phoenix. It's just a
Hmm.
elseworld thing.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
I would love to see that penguin get folded over, and because
yeah,
I'm really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying it. I came to the
yeah,
party late, I admit, but I'm enjoying it.
yeah. And then that news, the Supergirl movie is in full production. It's halfway shot, which is wild to me already, which is crazy. It is in full production, about to be in post production. So it's almost done. So it's other big news, which is wild. And the other news that everyone is talking about is their television programs and their upcoming slate. So we're seeing they're going to try to do 2 movies a year, 2 shows a year, and 1 animated feature. So that's like 7 projects. They have a 6-year plan to game level,
I
which is
trusted no
great.
one.
Approval right now that's already in production is Lanterns. If nobody's seen that screenshot with Kyle
Yeah.
Rayner, Aaron Pierre as John Stewart, and Hal Jordan, that looks incredible already, and it's just a steal. It already looks good, and it's just a steal.
What's up, Katie?
And then you got animated shows like Starfire coming out, the Green Lantern Corps coming out. The update they have Brave and the Bold coming,
Oh,
um,
son.
which is supposed to be directed by Andy Muschietti, who did It in The Flash. Um, they're still writing the script. It's not concrete. The thing about James Gunn and what he said is that they're not going to greenlight anything unless the script is incredible, unless it makes sense in the world and the script is great and the story is great. They're going to proceed with all that news, and proceed with a film or a television show or animated project. So Brave and the Bold is coming. They also greenlit a Clayface movie by Michael Flanagan and Damon Lindelof. They already have a director for that. That was not on the slate at all, a Clayface movie, but I guess the script
Oh,
was so good they had to fucking
that
do it.
that can be
So
epic though. When you and the body horror and stuff you can get into with
yeah,
that. And,
yeah.
that's a character that could hold it on his own. You
So
do it right.
yeah, so they start shooting Clayface this summer, and it's supposed to come around in September or October of 2026. So that is all in the mix. That is downright going down.
It's the old
And
clapback
they
kid.
are working. They are working on early drafts of a Titans movie. So that is coming too, I guess. Booster Gold is coming as well. Um, Swamp Thing is on hold because of James Mangold. As you know, he has an Oscar nominated film right now, which is The Complete Unknown. So Swamp Thing's on hold. The other thing that's on hold is The Authority. That's they don't have a nice script for that yet, so that's been put on hold. And also, they're going to make a Sergeant Rock movie, which is left field. But I guess DC wants to do things differently. It's going to culminate all in the same world, have same trajectories with their overall arc, but each film will feel different. They're going to have different tones. They also will stand on their own, I guess. You don't need to watch 12 movies to understand what's going on
See,
in their
I like that.
movies. So,
I like that.
yeah, but it's going to play in the overall arc of the story. So it could be as subtle or it can be as big. But they're really, really focused on Superman right now. That's the big thing right now. So let's hope and pray all that works out for them. But I'm really, really, really excited for what DC Studios is going to bring us. I have no doubt that what's coming out the gate is going to be really, really good. I think Superman's going to be a breath of fresh air. Lanterns, I think, is going to be incredible. It's on HBO Max, so I'm sure it's going to be uh, gritty. I think it's gonna be like the Lethal Weapon of DC. So I would really like that. Um,
Could be cool.
and Supergirl, I'm looking forward to a trailer
Hmm.
next fall. So
I I would really like to see him do Supergirl well. I want
I
Superman to
mean,
be
it's based off
successful.
Woman of Tomorrow, and Woman of Tomorrow is an incredible comic book.
I'm
Incredible.
just you know I'm nervous. Laurie may not know I'm nervous, but
Well,
I'm apprehensive because I just to fill in Laurie and anybody who wasn't here before when I went on a rant about it.
He's about to bitch
Uh,
about Hal Jordan. Go ahead, Fish. Go
well,
ahead. Tell,
okay, now Hal Jordan's a whole.
go
Don't
ahead.
even
Tell
get
the
me
bitches.
started on
Go ahead.
freaking Hal Jordan. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna have a nice day. We got Laurie's in the house. I'm not gonna go on a rant about
I mean, you
Guy
can. It's
Gardner
your
and
show.
Nathan
No, not.
Fillion. I'm
I
gonna
meant to
be
say
polite. I'm
Guy
gonna be a good
Gardner.
host.
I meant to
That's
say
what I'm
Guy
gonna
Gardner.
do.
I'm just excited to get
Jordan. Guy
new
Gardner.
stuff, new
Yeah.
good stuff. You know what I mean? I'm
See,
so tired
That
of
is correct,
reboots and
Joe.
sequels and
They are
prequels of the
considering
things
that.
we have already seen.
Hmm.
Do
that's my
something
problem.
new, damn
I
it.
was so excited when they said they were going to do Creature Commandos
Yes.
because I love Creature Commandos. And then, what we got was, Guardians of the Suicide Squad. And that pissed me off. Like, it really felt like, hey, I got a really cool idea of something we can do. And they're like, okay, let's do that. You know what was real popular? This is what you did before. Let's do that again. And
See, that's what I have a problem with right now. But I feel like it's a culmination of writer's strike that happened, and then we're not getting Blu-ray sales anymore. There's no secondary release of the film, and so the studios are less likely to take a risk on something that costs a lot of money. And so those
And Lori's
right,
that's
100%
the
right.
problem, though.
And that's
That's when the
what
studios get in there and they
that's
start
why we get
putting their hands in everything,
another
we get
labyrinth.
crap.
I don't want
And
another labyrinth. I
what
love
yeah,
Tom Hiddleston. I don't want another labyrinth.
no one
Thank
wants
you.
another
Thank you.
labyrinth. But Lori's right. They're like you got. This was before. This was in the Walter Hamada era too. So Creature Commandos was already greenlit prior. So unfortunately, it does fall into DC's. It is kind of like a soft opening for them. I don't expect Creature Commandos to toggle over into Superman in that same appeal.
Right.
I don't think this is going to be a crazy ensemble movie that people keep fucking talking about. I don't think it's going to be like that either. This is going to be a Superman
I
movie.
hope we get to see a lot
So,
of different sections of Superman's life. And like with a
mhm.
character that epic and stuff, like we don't have to start into this story and be like, oh, here he is coming from his planet. Oh no. Like we don't have to start at the beginning. We don't have to see the Waynes get shot every time. Like
Right.
just show me some snippets
Mhm.
of like Batman figuring out his gear and the first time his grappling hook thing went wrong and figuring out how to
I don't even
upgrade the
think we're going to get that
Batmobile and
fish
then
because
get into it.
I don't think they would do any of
Yeah,
that. They could just start
Gunn already said this is already a
yeah.
lived-in world. Yeah, this is a
Yeah,
lived-in
I mean, like,
world.
those legacy
So we're not going to
characters,
get any of that shit.
if we don't
Yeah,
know already, that's when you sit your kid down and be like, "Let me introduce you to Iron Man. Let's start at the beginning," right? You introduce them to those
Let me
characters. You
tell you a
introduce them to
story about a
Superman.
man by the name of Christopher Reeve.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Go back and show them all the good stuff, and that way
Oh
you
my
can
God,
just
those
take
old
them to the
movies are
new
so
movie,
boring. I'm
and we don't have
sorry.
to
I loved them, but they're so slow.
they're not the best, but
My
they're,
my brain has been so addled with ADD and everything getting so fast paced over the years that like I watched Batman so many damn times in the theater when it came out. I
mm.
loved it. I watched it every opportunity I could get. I cannot sit through it ananymore because
You
it's
know why,
just
Fish?
so slow.
Because you write stories now, and you know what well-written stories look like. So when you go watch Drivel, you're like, "Wow."
Like,
You
oh, it's
know?
a waste of time.
yeah. That's why like it's different when you're a writer because you're
Yes.
more critical. Like I'm very critical
Yes.
Hmm.
of film. Like like I told you, like Captain America didn't move. Didn't think it was necessarily a good fucking film. I think it's just bittersweet okay. But that's from a different regime. That's from the Chapek regime. That's the last Marvel movie of the Chapek.
Mm.
You got Kevin Feige back at the helm. You're about to watch Daredevil next week, and that whole entire show is completely different from what it was. They reshot that whole fucking show.
The whole
Like,
thing. I'm actually really excited for that.
I am too.
yeah,
When he was
Yeah,
like,
so
"Nope," Kevin saw what was coming, and he scrapped the whole thing.
like,
You're gonna
no,
start over. I was like, "Shit,
start right over.
just
Start
start
all over.
over. It's good.
You're
Bring in new
good. We're
writers.
done.
Bye bye."
Oh,
Yeah, so
I'm
like
loving it.
that's what I'm talking about. It's about, are we going to get quality? I don't think Captain America was necessarily
Ryan,
great
I like
quality.
you.
You
I
know,
like you, man.
I
We need to hang
I
out more.
just got
I
to
so
go
love
see
both of
Captain
you.
America,
I'm so
and
glad.
I really enjoyed it. And
I'm not saying it's a
I
terrible
don't get what
film.
everybody's
It's
been
just a
bitching about,
patchwork film.
other than
Fish, it's a patchwork film. You know that fucking film is a patchwork film.
Well,
I
they had
It
massive
is
reshoots as
patchwork
well,
fucking
didn't
bad.
they?
Why do we have to explain a movie with a shit ton of exposition, Fish? That is the worst thing you could possibly do
Yeah.
in a film. Have you watched Rebel Moon,
I
Fish?
mean, okay, I'll give you the shit ton of exposition. It could be an issue, but also
It's so
we're
unnecessary.
getting a character now that like we've only seen snippets of, like giving him a bit of an opportunity to explain like how he got from Thunderball Ross over to here to president, like giving him some time to talk about that, missing his daughter. I don't hate. I don't hate that, and I
I know. I mean, the performances were good. I'm not
I
denying
don't.
any of
I
that.
honestly, I didn't care for Harrison Ford's performance that much. I kind of
Yeah.
think, he's getting a little senile, and
He's
I
getting
think
up there.
it's kind of like watching Picard at this point. I kind of feel like I'm watching elder abuse with them
Oh.
making this old man do all this stuff.
I
Like
agree,
he should be
JD.
able to
What's up,
chill.
Katie?
Fish, just put
Yeah.
them in my story. They'll be fine.
Yeah, yeah, they'll be dandy.
We abuse elders all the time.
They'll go on forever.
We abuse everybody.
Yeah,
It's fine.
one
You
way or
know, but I
another.
gotta bring down the mood, guys. I gotta bring down the mood.
No,
Why?
not
Why?
Ryan. Never. I
Gotta bring
can't
down the
believe it.
mood.
Why?
We lost a lot of good people this week.
Oh man.
A lot of good
Yeah.
people. So first and foremost, we lost Roberto Orsi. Uh, a plethora of resumes behind him. He wrote the Transformer movies. He wrote a Star Trek movie I'm not really particularly fond of. Um, so with Robert Kirkman, which was the reboot Star Trek movie. And he made the best Transformers movie besides Bumblebee. So I think in third best Transformers movie. So I think for me, um, we lost him. He died at the age of
He's too
51
young.
from complications of kidney disease,
Dang.
which is really, really, really sad. Um, so yeah, that
Y'all
sucks.
wonder why I work such long hours? It's crap like that. You don't know. And that's a
Mm,
year away from me. So yeah, I bust my ass. I work 16 hours a day.
It
I want to
could
get as
be
many books out as I
51.
freaking
it
can before
could
I'm
be
gone.
any day, anytime. And
Hmm.
that's a life lesson that you learn, being an adult is death can
Oh yeah.
come anytime. So live each day to the
Mhm.
fullest and make it the best version. Tell everybody you love them because
Hmm.
tomorrow is promised to no one.
My kids make fun of me
Yeah.
because like I have certain patterns I talk in, and like I tend to call them my beloved son or my beloved daughter, and I always just randomly blurt out in the conversation like, you know what, I really love this about you, because you don't freaking know. And like I spent 15 years in a freaking wheelchair, and most of that time I couldn't talk or see half the time. So like I know what it is to not be able to say what you want to say, and I know you could be gone at any time. We thought I was dying for years before we figured out it was Tourette syndrome. And like you just don't know. And all the meds I'm on now are absolutely taking years off the end of my life. So, man, let
Hell
people
yeah.
know, man. Let people know that you care about them and, you know, what you think. It's important stuff.
The next one we lost was a titan of film, one of the greatest that have ever lived. He is considered one of the greatest actors of all time. There's only like five fucking people I can say about that I enjoy, like Jack Nicholson, like
Pee Wee Herman.
Dan Daniel Day-Lewis? Did you just say fucking Pee-wee? Oh God, Paul
I
Rubens.
disagree with that
I love
statement.
Paul. I love him, but I don't consider one of them the greats. But we
You know, Pee
lost
Wee's Big
Lex
Adventure is going to
Luthor.
go down as the epitome of motion picture greatness someday.
No,
When future generations
no,
Fair.
look back at Large Marge
no.
and that segment, they're going to say that
I
was
love
where
Large Marge,
motion
but
pictures hit their
no,
peak. It was all downhill after that. The whole reason COVID
no,
came out was just because it's been so long since
no.
Pee Wee's Big Adventure. I've got a whole
Stop it.
chart on the wall. I'll show you.
Stop it right
Makes
now.
perfect sense.
Is
Stop
Go
it
it
one
ahead.
of those crazy ones where it has
No.
like all the string? Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we lost Gene Hackman. Also lost his wife and his dog. Determined results of what they've have died from. To update today, there was no carbon monoxide in their system. I guess. Apparently, Gene Hackman's pacemaker stopped working back on February 17th. So that's actually considered his last day of life, which is on the 17th of
Well,
February. Mind you, it is the
didn't they say
28th
they had been dead
today.
for a while
Oh yeah,
when they
to the
found them?
point that
I think so.
they
I think
couldn't
they
easily
said,
tell how long it had
yeah,
been.
like rigor mortis and all that decomposition started
You
setting
know
in
what
and
is
all that
terrible,
stuff.
you guys? I
So,
watched The Quick and the Dead on the 14th. I was on
oh yeah,
Ryan
Quicker Than Dead,
I was
Mississippi
on Ryan
Burning,
Permission's
fucking
podcast,
Unforgiving.
and we were talking about Gene Hackman, and I was like, "Is Gene Hackman still alive?"
I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh at that, but just the irony of the timing. Oh.
That's why I'm like, I'm not comfortable with this. We were just checking on this guy to make sure he was still alive. And then it's
Mhm.
like Gene Hackman found dead. I'm not okay.
Yeah, he was a titan. He is one of the best actors to ever
Yeah.
do it, to ever live. Like he's played some of the greatest villains of all time, and
Superman,
like he was in,
Unforgiven, a ton
you
of
know,
westerns.
fucking like Mel Brooks, like
Yeah.
he was only in that movie for 4 minutes, Young
Yeah.
Frankenstein, and like he did his thing. Like he has a plethora of real. Like one of my favorite movies is Mississippi Burning. He's phenomenal in that film. Unforgiven, one of the most iconic villains of all time. Like,
Yeah.
and like it's just and he's Lex Luthor. He made you like Lex Luthor. He's
What's
the
that
first
lady's
person
name
to do
that
that.
he was screaming all the time? Miss Valentine! What was her
Yes,
name?
Oh.
I can hear it in my head, but my brain
Yeah,
won't.
I can too.
Fluff is something. Is it?
yeah. But
Ryan, save us here.
yeah,
Brockmeyer or something. Like,
but the
oh.
fall, the last one that really hurt my heart is that we lost Don Summers. We lost Harriet the Spy.
Mm.
We lost Michelle Trachtenberg. Eurotrip, but she is well known as being Buffy
Buffy's
Summers'
Mhm.
sister,
little sister.
Dawn Summers. And that one really hurt because we all watched her grow up. We literally all watched her, and then she died at the young age of 39. Um, to me,
Miss
it's still not
Tessmacher.
what she died from, but I think it's
It was
complications from
complications
her
from a
liver
liver transplant.
transplant. Yeah. And like people were really dogging the fuck out of her, like months later, talking about she looks sick, she doesn't look healthy, she's strung out, she's on drugs, all that bullshit. I'm gonna say this once and once. I don't know what people are going through. They did the same
Mhm.
thing to Chadwick Boseman.
Right.
Like, you don't know what people are going through. Obviously, Michelle Trachtenberg has had some serious health issues in the last 10 years of her life. And like my thing with that, there's a photo that looks like she has straight jaundice in her eyes, and people are docked out. and on drugs. Like, no, she's sick. And like people need to be self-aware and have a little bit more respect for people's well-being. And I think that's what the world has really truly lost, is respecting people's privacy and respecting people in general. Like, we've really lost. Yeah, they're doing the same shit to Ariana Grande right now. Leave that damn girl
Yeah.
alone. She ain't doing you. That girl has been through a lot of shit the last 15 years of her life, and they're dogging her because she's skinny. Like,
I got to admit,
come
I was
on.
legit worried about her through that whole movie. It was hard to enjoy the movie because I was like, damn, how is she breathing? But
Yeah.
No, Ariana Grande is very much alive. You know, like, she's also older. No, she has not had any plastic surgery. Her damn nose is still
Mhm.
the same. She's just older now. People age. She doesn't tan anymore. You know, I mean, preferably it'd be nice to see her, you know, put on a couple pounds, but what the fuck? I'm not her. She's gonna
mhm.
do her.
It could be a
Like,
condition too where she's
it could
having
be a
trouble
condition
gaining
too
weight.
that
People just
nobody
don't
knows
know.
about. But
Right.
she's always been relatively thin. She's a
She's a small
small,
individual. Yeah.
tiny girl, like, tiny. She's
Is
always
she like
been
Some
5
of us
foot?
are and some of
so.
us ain't.
Like,
Imma Google it. How tall is
There ain't no
yeah,
amount of nothing I can do that's going to make me scrawny like that.
I think Ariana, like, I think she's only like 5'5" or
No,
5'6".
she's
She's
5'1".
she's a tiny girl.
I was going to say 5'5" would be a
Oh,
titan
that's the
compared to my
tiny
She's
wife.
girl.
literally a
If
tiny
she's
human.
5'1", yeah. You guys need to chill out. But you guys, nobody knows what they're going through. So we lost Don Summers. We lost Michelle Trachtenberg. That one hurt because, like, I watched that girl grow up on
Mhm.
screen. So that one really hurt. It was like a Brittany
Yeah.
Oh
Murphy
my
moment.
God.
Like,
Yeah,
That
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 was
shit
still
hard.
hurt.
hurts me
Yeah,
all the time.
yeah. So rest in peace, Michelle. Your pain is over. And like, we lost some great people this week. So hug your loved ones. Always check in. We lost some good people.
Oh, yeah. They forget that all the time.
That's all I got.
And,
Gosh, yeah.
and they are people. They going through all the same stuff. They care about people. And it's really uncomfortable when you get to a place where people don't look at you as a person anymore. And like
Hmm.
I've been that way my whole life. Just because I was a talented artist, there would always be a couple of people that would fan out over me in freaking junior high on and not look at me as a person anymore, but like, oh my God, you're so great, you're so awesome. And it's so freaking uncomfortable. And it's so, you don't want to be around those people.
Mhm.
I can't imagine what it would be like to have everybody treating you that way and have it be nearly impossible to find anybody that would tell you the honest truth or be willing to hurt your feelings.
Like, it takes a lot of balls in general, and I'm talking female balls and male balls, in that kind of fucking atmosphere. All those
Mhm.
cameras, all those lights, all the fucking same questions over and over and over again. These people have to
Billions
do
of
tons
people
of
commenting
interviews
on you
for
for no
press.
reason.
Yeah, and they have to keep a certain demeanor and a level of aptitude and, like, shit to, like, present themselves as a human being when, good well probably they're screaming
Oh yeah.
inside
Mhm.
right now, saying they probably don't want to fucking do this
Can't
right
lose
now,
your crap
or
on
they're
a press
tired.
tour because they stuck you
Yeah,
as freaking Guy
can't.
Gardner instead of Hal Jordan.
Hey, hey, fish.
Yo,
It's
no,
okay.
it's not.
It's okay.
It is legitimately not
It's
okay.
okay. But
I
I'm
will
not here.
survive,
I'm
but it's
not
not
here to
okay.
talk about that shit anymore. We're here to talk about Laurie and her
Hey.
campaign
Is that
on
what
the
we're here? Is
I'm
path.
that
just
what we
gonna
came on
distract
for
you
tonight?
from everything. Hey, over here. Look at this shiny thing.
In the path of the Pale Rider.
Oh my God, 88 minutes.
Oh yeah, it's counting down. Hey, uh,
We're coming down to the end. But Laurie, tell everybody what this book is about.
Oh,
Give them the
all right.
411 and let the people know what's
All
up.
right. Path of the Pale Rider is a Western apocalypse. So if you like Fallout, Good, Bad, and the Ugly, Walking Dead, and Cocaine Bear, those are the boxes that we check, right? And so in this world,
A lot of
thank
good
you.
boxes,
I
Lord.
know it's a lot of good things to like mush together and see what comes out. And it works so good. It works so good. So in this world, death has been broken, Ryan. Your body can die, but your soul doesn't leave your body upon death. So you're stuck in your decaying body. And as your brain rots, it's like having dementia and fast forward. You lose your memories. You could become violent or detached or vegetative, and it hits everybody differently. And did I mention death is broken? So it's people, animals, insects, fish. Nothing dies correctly anymore, but we still decay. So it
Oh,
opens a whole door of how do we live in this place, right? Things have devolved back to the Wild West. We're following this cowboy 10 years into the apocalypse, and he's the last guy that's still looking for the answer of why did the dead no longer die? It's wild. It's wild. We are on issue 6. And so, what you're going to see in this series, you guys, issue 1 starts 10 years into the apocalypse. It's a really rough place. Jude St. Clair encounters an undead bear named Big James, who is our unofficial mascot, apparently. Issues 1 and 2 are very much Western apocalypse. Issues 3 and 4, we flash back to the time when Death went missing. It's going to do it in just a second. And so you're going to be able to see what it looks like from the beginning, the confusion, it's people are starving because they don't know what to eat because animals don't die correctly and insects don't die from pesticides. It's a lot of confusion, the fall of society, um, government overstep. I wrote this in 2018, by the way. So I want to mention that because when you see stuff like this, and there will be issues in here that remind you of the pandemic. I wrote this pre-pandemic. 2018, we weren't even thinking about pandemic, right?
mhm.
So just to
That's
let
what
you
I
know.
keep saying. I wrote Green Zone long before all this
Yeah,
crap happened
yeah,
in the public. It wasn't expecting it to turn into a documentary.
exactly. So Fish and I, our books are now moved from fiction to current events.
Hmm.
Um, we're sorry that we predicted the future, but there's just it's a wild ride. It's very cinematic because I wrote this as a full-length movie. Because I was in a production company back in 2017. I was actually the fight coordinator, and I had a fight team that I was managing, and we would work with the talent and do all the stunts. And yes, I've been hit by a car, and I know how to run up a wall and knife fight and all of that fun stuff.
Awesome.
Yep.
I like you even more now.
See, Anna. I have all these weird talents. Um, so yeah, campaign is running for the next hour and a half or approximately. So you can go poke around. We have some really cool stuff. We got some
Oh,
original art. We have these really nice variant covers. I only did a couple, but we have a sketch tier where you can get a sketch cover custom made by Gilbert Perez. We also have wooden covers. So instead of metal or foil, ours are literally made out of wood. So I have a ton of
that is an
t-shirts.
epically clever idea. I
Thank you.
love
I'm
that, especially for
Western,
this
right?
Very
book.
clever.
It
Yeah.
fits so brilliantly
Yep.
into that.
We have custom made Funko Pops. We have secret rewards. We have hot sauce, literal hot sauce on the
Mhm.
campaign because my fans are
That's fucking
foodies.
dope.
What?
That's
We have
dope.
hot sauce or what?
Lori, all of it.
Playing cards,
Amazing.
hot
We have poker
sauce.
cards unlocking. We have a choose your own adventure book, which is so much
Mm,
fun. You get to put on the hat and boots, walk around the apocalyptic West,
that's a
and see how
really
long you
good
Like,
idea
last.
I'm
too.
over 100 books into this job now, and I feel like a freaking amateur, just like playing around on the playground. And she's come done, kicked my checkers out from in front of me, and it's just we're not even playing the same game. It's insulting, really, but
We're
I'm
having
impressed.
fun. I rebind books, Ryan. And so if you all have books that you write, mostly novels, but I did rebind some trade paperbacks. I can do that as well. So I've been doing that. I have swag bags. If you can't decide what merch you want in the add-ons, let me pick it for you. I got a ton of cool stuff. We have buttons and stickers and iron-on patches and 6,000 keychains. Yes, that is a dinosaur chicken nugget. Thank you.
Absolutely. That is awesome.
We have hats and shirts and canvas bags. Like, we got it all. I feel like a merch store sometimes, but it's just all stuff that we produce for the comic and maybe have extra and you
That's
benefit from that.
fantastic though, because it's all on brand.
Mhm.
Um,
hmm
so people need to go back this. Laurie, it was great meeting you. I have to
You
bow out
too.
now, but check out her campaign. Fish
Appreciate
is
it.
about to Fish is about to
It's almost
go in.
done. Yeah.
Y'all have a wonderful night.
Bye, Ryan.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. I'm going to paste this in the comments
Thank you.
before I forget about it because I tend to forget about things like that sometimes.
I forget to post my own link sometimes, so don't feel bad.
But there you go.
Sarah
It's in the link.
Sarah White is a backer, and I'm really excited for her to read the story.
Oh yeah. I'm and that's the thing. Like the more we've talked about this cuz we've been on a lot of
Uh-huh.
podcasts together since we met a couple of weeks ago and you quickly became one of my favorite people and in talking about this just every especially when you really get down to the fact that they never die. So
Mm,
it's not
yeah.
like in like The Walking Dead or something where you can knife to the brain is going to stop the zombie, like they don't die. And then when it applies to everything from rodents to insects to the food supply to bacteria and stuff,
Bacteria.
like you get in a hangnail, you're dead because like
Well,
that's going to
not
get infected.
necessarily.
What are
I
you
mean,
going to
like,
do? You can't kill it.
I mean, you can. It dies. It doesn't. It's not going to replicate anymore, right? Bacteria and viruses, they are technically alive, and so when they're undead, they're still there and they can move, but they're not necessarily infecting you anymore. Kind of like the vaccines that we get. It has a dead version of the virus in it, right?
Okay.
So, I mean, it
But
is super easy to die in this world because you gotta imagine that people are starving. The undead are super chaotic and they're out of control, and people sympathize with them because it's your mom, your neighbor, your
and they don't
coworker.
automatically turn into an eating machine or something. Like
No,
it's just
they're
your mom
themselves. Yeah.
tomorrow, but now her dementia is on high grade because her brain's rotting out.
Yes.
But still, that's your mom, and you're going to remember these things, and she's going to remember bits about you,
Yes.
and oh yeah,
They sundown. So, and here's the cool thing about Path of the Pale Rider. Yes, we have the comic. Yes, we have the Choose Your Own Adventure book. We have riddles to solve. So, the back cover of
see,
every issue, there's a riddle to solve. And if you solve it, things happen. I have people solving the riddles right now, which is awesome. I went to a Comic-Con and some guy, he got the entire set and he is going through the riddles one by one. We have hidden videos on YouTube. We have working phone numbers. We have websites. We have, what's the other one? There's the second one. If you solve that one, something shows up in your mailbox from a character. So you get to interact with the world like it's real. And I love leaving little breadcrumbs and trails along the way. And so if you choose to participate in these, you might have insight of what's happening in the story. See what I mean? Because Dwayne Fink is he's a all right. Dwayne Fink is the town drunk in this town called Santa Claus. Jude St. Clair has been looking for this guy because he claims to know how the apocalypse started. But you don't know if he's telling the truth. He's the town drunk.
hmm
But if you solve some of the riddles, you'll understand where he has been and where his insight is coming from. See what I mean?
see, that just it's brilliant. It kind of pisses me off a little bit that I didn't think about it, but it's brilliant. And I don't understand why everybody is. I don't understand why this number isn't just spinning like a freaking top going up because this is brilliant and it's interactive and there's if you just want to read the story, you can just read the story.
can.
You can be
Yeah.
done. You can go on. But if you're like me, and if you're the type of person that wants to do all of the side quests and get all of the extra things and collect all of the extra little, swag and get that bomb and go back to the first level to blow up that wall that you knew there was
Yeah.
something hinky with, you could get all the details. And oh, that
That's what we are.
see, this is what kills me because I could be putting in all of the stuff that I want to put into Green Zone that I don't have room in the pages to put
That's
into Green Zone in extra material that you could be unlocking going to check out. But I didn't even know that was a thing,
it is a
Laurie,
thing.
because you
We
didn't
do
tell me
this.
until I met you, which is
Well,
just rude.
wait. There's more.
But wait, there's more.
Oh, wait, there's more. Okay, so we have the riddles. We also produce short films. So, like you said, there's things that are happening in this world that we don't have enough time to show
Mhm.
everybody. For example, what happens to that nuclear family where head of house is now undead and the house is in his name,
Mm.
right? And you lose his income and he starts to decay and can't remember things and gets lost in the neighborhood, right? And he starts
Mhm.
to stink. And so we have a short film for that. It's called A Day in the Life. And what I love about these is that, yes, you get to see more of how this world works. They're also fan interactive. So, Fish, on A Day in a Life, my request to the fandom was send me a picture, send me a creepy selfie. Send me a creepy selfie and I zombified 40 people in our credits. And so it's about this undead man, of course, and his family. Eventually, at the end, he is collected by the police force and, well, he runs, right? But the credits is all the fans, zombified fans with little excerpts of why I think they got collected, right? And so it's hilarious. I have people that are dead, like send me a picture of you as a dead body. Send me a picture, record yourself telling me what you think broke death. And I have a I dressed up as a news reporter. My husband was the desk, reporter. And I went on site and I interviewed people. I said, what do you think broke death? And they could say whatever they wanted. And we had a blast. And you could be in these if you want.
That's awesome.
So we have
That
this
is
whole
awesome.
interactive.
See, and that's
So
brilliant because you're getting the fans involved in easy ways that they can take part, they can have fun,
yeah.
and that's guaranteed to make them want to come back next time to see what takes place.
I'm
Oh,
that crazy person that always thinks of something outside the box.
see,
So wooden
I can
covers, we just unlocked scratch and sniff stickers, Fish.
see
Excited.
that I'm so jealous of people whose creativity runs in those different directions and does
Mm,
different things. Like I can make almost anything that I put my mind to, and I can create all kinds of things. If you want 50 brand new characters, I can come up with 50 awesome characters by the end of the night, no problem. But coming up with like ways to sell things or way to make somebody want to come buy your book, I'm no good at that. I'm no good at decorating cakes. I can't carve your
I don't
shrubs into
decorate cakes either. That's
topiaries.
the one thing
I
I don't
can't do
do.
hair I can do one haircut really well and that's it. And like I don't do well at those other things. Like I have a friend who's super creative, him and his wife,
Yeah,
and like they would ask me to make props for church and they'd be like, hey, we need a robot for church. I was like, okay, how big
a
does it need to
robot.
be? Does it need to move? Is this a suit or am I like making it out of foam or, what are we doing? It's like, oh, I thought you just like tip a trash can upside down and take these, tennis rackets and stuff. And I'm like, I can't even think that way. I think from scratch and like, how will I fabricate this thing? And they're like, oh, I just thought this junk looked like a robot. And it does, but I don't think that way.
Oh my gosh, that's too funny.
Yeah,
That's too
I'm always so amazed by
Yeah, I'm having
people's
fun. I'm having
creativity.
fun. I mean, I have the best job in the world. You know what I mean? I get to
Hmm.
write comics. I'm not gonna tell you the scent I picked for those zombie flesh ones. It's pretty gross. But it's a 3-pack. And so 2 are okay. There's a beer scented one for Dwayne Fink and his beer. There's a barbecue sauce one because of course we have a hot barbecue in one of the hot sauces. It's a ghost pepper barbecue. And then we do have zombie flesh, and I know you want to know what that smells like, don't you?
Oh,
You
that's right
are
up there with
curious.
like the puke jelly beans and stuff. Like,
You want to know,
I can't believe that they make those things. But
but they do,
somebody's always gonna want to try it on a dare, and
right?
who knows? Somebody probably loves them. Somebody probably buys them
Somebody
by the
better
bag.
not love those, is all I gotta say. It's one of those you eat on a dare and then you spit it out.
Man,
And if you
people
put a
eat
second
toilet
one in your
paper.
mouth, I have to
Like
question what the hell's
there's
wrong with you.
all kinds of folks out there, and
This is true.
so people eating fabric softener and stuff like
Yeah, that's weird.
dirt is. Who knows? There's probably
Well, it's
somebody
called
out there
chica,
that's
that's
like,
a thing.
like we put a chemical in our chocolate here that is the same chemical that gives our puke that sour flavor
Ew.
that we actively put in American chocolate, which is why Europeans don't tend to like American
Ooh,
chocolate
that's
because
interesting.
we add this in because for
It's
whatever
not
reason, I don't know if we got used to the flavor or what. I mean, hell, we used to eat black licorice for fun by choice, so like our taste used to be very different.
I like
But
black licorice.
yeah, I'm sorry.
Only
You will
certain
have
kinds, though, not all of it, not all of
you
it.
will have my eternal pity and condolences.
No, I like the fancy ones, though. I don't like just the cheapo,
But
like, no black Twizzlers, like, that's no. You gotta get the fancy ones that are, like, they have different shapes and pink and yellow and white in there, like, I like the
mhm,
UK it's Cadbury, right? Cadbury chocolate is UK chocolate?
I
What's the other
believe so.
one? There's another one. Lens Lind Linds? I don't know.
Lints.
Lint?
See, I can't. When you start putting some of those weird letters together, I can't. I want to have to pronounce it all, and that makes it tough on me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I am honestly, I am super excited about getting to read this book.
I'm
I
excited for you.
I back a lot of stuff. I back
Yeah.
a lot of books. Sometimes just because I like the creator. Sometimes, I'm like, oh, that sounds cool on a whim. And I've made a point because, like, I've got friends, I've got backers and fans and stuff. They're like, oh, I back this, and they get mad when they don't get it.
Yeah.
I forget. I back it and forget about it. I actively forget. So if it shows up one day, it's a happy surprise. If it doesn't, I don't get mad about it because I forgot. And I have a budget that I try to stick within, which is really
Yeah.
hard during campaign
Yep.
times because you're meeting all kinds of cool people on podcasts and you want to
Yep.
pitch their books. And but I have a budget that I stick to, and then I forget about it. And if they show up, they show up. There's only a handful that I'm like, oh, when's this going to get here? When's the
Right.
next Apex Cybernetic Samurai Owl going to get here? Because I can't wait to read it. And
Right.
this is going up on that list because I want to find out. I got to know. I got to know
Yeah.
what you do with all of these aspects and
Yeah.
see how different it is than what I would have done and how similar it is because we our minds really go in a lot of the same
I
ways,
think
like the book
so.
binding and the doing everything yourself and the
Yeah.
laser cutting and the this that. Like it sounds like my long lost sister
I
over
think
here.
we might
Like
be related. I don't know.
yeah,
Cousin, second
probably
cousin.
you know,
Yeah. But I
and
gotta say, Fish, this is the best time to get caught up. The best time. Because when I wrote this, again, full-length movie, and I wrote it in 3 acts as most movies do, right? And we are smack dab in the middle when everything goes wrong. And so
oh,
I gotta tell you, in our arc, there's 12. There's 1 through 6. There is issue 7, and then there's the repercussions of everything that happens in 7. So you guys are in a great spot to binge read and get caught up when we drop massive number 7 on you. You will never see anything the same after 7.
Laurie says she's
No.
gonna drop a massive number 7 on you, and you're never gonna be the same.
You won't. It'll change everything. Issue number 7 changes everything. So, um, get on board, guys, while you can. There's only we have some late tiers, but if you want those exclusive things, you gotta get them. You got to. Those will turn off when the campaign ends. So,
Hmm. Yeah, I'm super excited and I'm super happy to see that like you well past your goal, almost doubled it.
I
That's
know.
really good, especially right now because everybody's taking a hit right now. So that shows you clearly have been putting out a quality book that people are wanting to come back for. Not to
Yeah.
mention all the extra awesome things that you can be a part of and take part in, which is just freaking brilliant. And I need to figure out ways to incorporate that and steal that.
At least I didn't say I was dropping a number 2 on you.
I don't even want to know what a number 7 is. I don't even want to know. That's beyond the pale for me.
I've been talking about this though when we started it. And I'm so excited to be this far into the story because it gets, in my opinion, it gets really good, right? And
Mhm.
I've been hanging on to these secrets forever. I'm so
Oh yeah.
ready for some of these things to start coming to light so we can talk about them. Because it's huge. It's huge what's happening now. So
Oh yeah.
I can't wait. I can't wait so I can openly talk about these things and not have to keep it in a box for much
I
longer.
totally feel you because
Mhm.
like I've been dying to get to this point in Green Zone for a
Yes.
long time. When I launched it, my plan was to put one out every other month. The publisher that I
Oh,
went with, I don't think they really believed me when I said I was going to do that.
yes.
I think they thought it was a lot of hype. They didn't
Right.
realize how quickly I put stuff out. And so when the books started coming, they didn't have the bandwidth to get it all out on time.
Laughing at the
So
chat. Chat's funny.
I figured I would be at like, issue 20 by now. So I've
Um,
got all this stuff in my head that I want to get to. And, you know, but now that we're finally getting like we finally got to the end of the first shift and now bits of stuff are starting to trigger off and you're starting to
yeah.
see what happens and you're starting to see how quickly people turn and does this person live or die and what happens and is this person a hero or a monster or a villain and it's
Right.
just all the stuff starts
Fish.
to kick
Did
in.
you booked a spot on the brew, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
in
Good.
like June or July, but yeah, I'm
Okay.
coming.
Because I was like, because I cannot wait to continue this conversation because I have 5,000 questions for you too. But I have to go to my countdown
Yes, you
party.
do. Yes, you do. I've been keeping a close eye on the
Mhm.
time, and yeah, you got to get going. So, thank you very much for coming
Yeah.
on. I really appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun to talk to you again. I'm sure we will chit chat again many a
Yes.
time on many
Many a
a
time.
show. I'm going to go ahead and book some time out for the rest of the year with you on your show so we can
Yes.
chit chat when the other books come out. And
Yes. We better
um,
get, I think I'm booked out to August.
all right, man,
So August,
those are going
I know
quick.
people are booking September and October, because people are, you have to, unfortunately, you gotta grab
You
my
got
show
to.
early because
Hmm.
it's booked so fast this year, it's incredible.
Hmm.
So, but there's always someone that forgets, and then I'll be like, "Hey, Fish, what are you doing on a Tuesday? I don't got a guest."
Hey,
So
I can gab, and I'm just sitting around drawing comics anyway, so I'm usually free.
cool.
So hit me up if you ever need any help,
I'm
because
gonna
obviously we can chit chat all day long. And I'm gonna stop now and run the end credits, or we'll
Okay,
still
okay,
be
okay,
here in
okay.
an hour. It's been a lot of fun. Thank you very much. If y'all haven't gone out to back this book yet, I swear to God, don't make me come through this camera and get you. I know where some of you live. I have your freaking addresses. So go back it now. I'll see y'all later. Peace out.
Bye, everybody.